Well, one state is coming up with a plan B at this point. People in Oregon are getting robocalls from their state telling them to look elsewhere for health coverage if their enrollment is not confirmed today. Listen to this.
If you have not heard from us by December 23rd, it is unlikely your application can be processed for January 1st insurance coverage.
Eek. That's not good news. Charles Payne joins us now with the Fox Business Network to break all this down for us. Charles, that's just one example. What's going on in Oregon? They're saying, look, if you signed up, but you haven't heard back from us with a confirmation, you better get out there and do something on your own.
Yeah, you better have a plan B yourself. Yeah. And here's the thing, Martha, the 14 states all have different things. And, some states you can sign up next week. Some you could pay 3 weeks from now. This whole thing has been an unmitigated disaster. And the patchwork only makes it worse. I think this thing with Joe Manchin sort of being level-headed, saying we need to just sort of calm down, push this whole thing out, and give ourselves some room to really do it right, is really ultimately where it's going to go. Because at this particular point, this deadline today, this artificial deadline, of course, it was December 15th, it's just going to make matters worse.
I know, but, I'm not even sure how that would work at this point, Charles, because, so many of these plans have already been cut off, and the president already asked the insurers to kind of give people a grace period or let them stay on the plan that they thought originally wasn't good enough. Perhaps it will be good enough for now. The proof's going to be in the pudding. I mean, when you show up for your surgery or you show up for your doctor's appointment, it's really going to depend on the good graces of the insurance company, believe it or not, at this point.
You're right. And that, the administration is calling it good faith, exemptions. What the heck does that mean? Hardship exemptions. There's all kinds of different exemptions out there. It's just complete confusion. And people need to realize the big part of the website that was broken, and I'm not sure where we are with it yet, was the back end. So you may think you're covered. You've gone in the front end, you've done all your homework, and you've selected a plan. You may even pay by the deadline, but that money doesn't get to the insurance company. So January 3rd, something happens to you, you may find out the hard way that you're really not covered yet.
Yeah, one of the big picture issues that fascinates me here is it appears now that the president made a political decision with this, that he didn't want to back down, right? He felt that it was politically so important for him to see this through. And you wonder if, as Joe Manchin is suggesting now, that perhaps, a presidential decision to do sort of the right thing, to give it a little more time to breathe, might have been a better course for this president. It has to be a question he asks himself, I would imagine.
Not only, I don't think he just asked himself that, but I know it would be crazy, but I still think that ultimately that's probably where we're going to be. I cannot see. This thing is a crazy patchwork. Can you imagine? It's not changing a tire in a moving vehicle. It's like patching an oil tanker that keeps having holes in it. And the more you patch it, the more it weighs down, the more confusion there is. It would behoove everyone to say, hey, let's put the brakes on it, start all over. As we get closer to the midterm elections, there's no doubt in my mind that the president is going to have tremendous pressure from his own party to do just that.
Yeah. All right. Charles, thank you so much. Have a great Christmas.
Thanks a lot. You too.